What is up, everyone? Today we're showcasing a really good team for the Open Great League with Deoxys Defense, Walrein, and Galvantula, where Galvantula was definitely my MVP. Everyone is so focused on running teams with Walrein at the moment, or actually mostly countering Walrein with their teams, that everyone just kind of seem to forget about Galvantula, I think, and it's just been destroying teams. Because of Walrein, it has kind of dropped the usage of some of Galvantula's biggest threats. I barely see any Nidoqueen anymore. I haven't seen a single Swampert for a little bit, which I think is strange because I don't think Swampert is that bad, but I literally haven't seen a single Swampert in like 1.5 days, which is crazy. But Galvantula loves it. Besides that, there's a lot more counter users. Deoxys, Medicham, Scrafty are all very common in the current meta. Galvantula really likes seeing those. Also, all of the Walrein teams you see are usually quite weak against Galvantula as well. Most of the common cores or combinations with Walrein are like fighting types like Medicham and Deoxys, and Galvantula just eats that for alive. So yeah, it is truly Galvantula's time to shine. Of course, it still has answers. Galarian Stunfisk is definitely still around. However, I think Galarian Stunfisk and Bastion as well, by the way, have also seen a little drop in usage as well. Since there's so many counter users in the current meta, there's even a lot of like triple counter lines running around, that it just kind of scares away Bastion and G-Fisk. Anyway, let's just head into these battles. Second game, we lead into this Galvantula. You know, I'm out here praising Galvantula. But I'm also running a line very weak against Galvantula, so maybe not the smartest, but maybe I can play around this. I can take a shield here with the Psycho Boost. Also, or try to catch a lunch here too, but I don't, unfortunately. I'm just gonna shoot this. Also, just want to give a quick shout out to SDX Games, who actually suggested me this team in my Twitch chat. So thank you very much. I ran that line after that, and dude, I really did enjoy it a lot. Anyway, I do kill the Galv with the Walrein here, and in comes their own Walrein. This is okay. I'm at an energy advantage, and I think their Earthquake doesn't knock me out yet. Oh, one more thing. You might notice I'm running a purple Walrein now instead of the blue one I ran in my last video, and that's because the blue one I ran was a very high stat product one, low attack, and now I'm running one with a little bit of attack. To hit an Azumarill breakpoint, the one I talked about in my Walrein IV guide. So yeah, this one hits all the break and bulk points in the Great League meta, so it's really nice. If you don't have one that hits the breakpoints though, like a high rank one, also works fine. But if you really want to optimize, I do still definitely recommend getting at least the Azumarill breakpoint. For more information, just check out the Walrein IV guide I made. Anyway, Sableye comes out. This is great. I should have really discharged on the second move, because that would have knocked it out already. But because it does do slightly more than lunch, but it still worked out. I farmed down the Sable. In comes the Walrein again. I Psycho Boost. And it is a good game. Came back from a terrible lead. I love to see it. Alright, Deoxys Mirror Lead. This is not too bad. Here, I definitely have to stay in. Only thing I'm worried about is with Deoxys, you sometimes have like Galarian Stunfisk in the back, and it could be rough, though if I get some shields here, like Walrein can definitely take it out as well. Anyway, I'm just gonna no shield, whatever. Apparently I win CMP here, which is kind of okay, but also kind of worrying, because my Deoxys is actually not that great. It's like 12, 12, 10, so it's definitely not great PvP IVs, and you're gonna see it cost me in this match, because they're gonna be able to counter me down and have a Psycho Boost loaded. Yeah, I do have a better Deoxys I could build, but I just haven't. I think I really should, because then we would have probably simultaneous KO'd. I'm gonna take this Psycho Boost on my Galvantula anyway, which honestly, maybe a mistake. Maybe I should have taken it, but again, I was kind of worried that it was like a Galarian Stunfisk in the back, and that my Galvantula would have been useless anyway. But it's Obstagoon, and I should have expected this, because a very common line in the current meta with Deoxys Lead is triple counter. Deoxys, Vigoroth, Obstagoon. Or another variant of that, Deoxys, Walrein, Obstagoon. Those are two very common lines, and, well, both of them, Galvantula, if you keep a lot of health, if you keep shields, just obliterates. So, yeah, in comes the Walrein. I couldn't stay in there. I had to switch out because I would have died to the Powder Snows before I got to my move. Unfortunately, I have to bring in my own Walrein, and this is not looking too good because, well, I'm at an energy deficit, and 2 Earthquakes definitely do knock me out, unfortunately. Which, well, they are gonna go for 1 here. And I just go for the Icicle Spear, do a little more damage, hopefully put this in 1 Volt Switch range, and I'm really hoping I'm wrong, and I can survive 2 Powder Snows. But at this point, I am still thinking, I'm probably due to just die to the 2 Powder Snows. We're gonna simultaneous KO, but they still have 1 Pokemon in the deck, so I lose. GG, alright, another Deoxys Mirror Lead. Could this be the same team? Maybe. Maybe. Let's see. Alright, Thunderbolt coming through. They did get their counter through right there, which is really bad, but I also get mine through, so that's awesome. The game worked as intended. That doesn't always happen, but luckily we're both getting our moves through. They denied me here, though, so I'm really hoping I can deny back. Otherwise, we will end in tears again. But yeah, I deny him back. It's pretty crazy. That is not supposed to happen, but at least it happened to both of us, so fine. And now, this one, I'm actually able to simultaneous KO. So that is great. Since they already showed their Deoxys, I'm gonna assume they might not bring in another counter user. So I bring in Walrein, but they actually bring in the Obstagoon. Again, it is probably either Walrein Obstagoon or Vigoroth Obstagoon. Either way, I think I'm okay here. Okay-ish. Because even though Galv does beat Obstagoon and Vigoroth, they are so spammy. They get to their moves faster than... Oh shit, we lag a little bit here. It is the Walrein, by the way. They get to their moves faster than Galv can get to their charge moves. So, yeah, with some teamwork, Obstagoon and Vigoroth can definitely take out Galv. Anyway, I'm just gonna be able to discharge this Walrein again before it gets to the second Icicle Spear. And now I am looking pretty good, because even if this Obstagoon takes me out here, I should be fine to just common Walrein and Earthquake it. Or maybe even Icicle Spirit. I don't know. I think I go for the Earthquake here, but I'm getting a little... I'm trying to go for the Earthquake here, but I'm getting a little scared. I actually kind of stopped counting his moves. So I just end up throwing the Icicle Spear. And this will barely not knock out. But luckily, the Powder Snow after does, and I win the game. GG's. Alright, Alolan Ninetales Lead. A Charm Alolan Ninetales Lead. And this is actually pretty tough. Because, well, Walrein really doesn't do that well versus Charm Alolan Ninetales. And Galvantula gets Charm down really, really quickly as well. What I usually do here is I throw a Thunderbolt. They usually respect it and shield because, well, it could be a Rock Slide. So that's what I'm doing. Then I'll Psycho Boost here. And if they don't shield this, they'll be very, very low. I can farm down with Walrein. If they shield this, I'll just switch to Walrein anyway, because at this point I can Earthquake. Ideally, I would have caught a Weather Ball there, but my timing was just a bit off, unfortunately. Didn't throw it, and I bring in Lickitung into my Walrein. This is not great, but if I can shoot up a Power Up here, I think I should be able to win out this matchup. Gonna go for another Icicle Spear. This will hurt the Lickitung, and I think the next one should knock it out. Now, I wasn't really keeping track of licks here, unfortunately. Otherwise, I think I would have been able to farm up a little more than this still. It is 17 licks for a Power Whip. Like 34, no, yeah, 34 for 2 Power Whips, which is like 17 Powder Snows, and I don't think I was at 17 Powder Snows yet. Alright, they bring in Maddie into my Galv. They make an amazing catch onto their Ninetales. Not ideal. They get off the Weather Ball here as well. Luckily, they are debuffed. I guess that did help me out. Though I would have really preferred to discharge this, but that's okay. I get some energy. They have to throw in their Medicham like right away, or I get to the lunge, and I do get to the lunge, and this is basically game over now. Because I still have an Icicle Spear on a Walrein as well, and I'm close to the Psycho Boost on my Deoxys. So, yeah, this is okay. I was bringing a Walrein, right? They have Ice Punch. They probably don't have a Dynamic Punch. They're definitely not at the Psychic yet, so yeah. take it out, and it's another good game. Alright, Azumarill Lead is not something I love to see, but it's okay, because basically all 3 of my Pokemon are okay here. They switch in Stunfisk though. I think I should have thrown the Thunderbolt immediately. One thing you have to be aware of with the Deoxys defense is that there's a couple Pokemon in this meta, well, mainly just Galarian Stunfisk, that, you know, can just eat up all your charge moves. And something people really like to do if they have a Galarian Stunfisk in the back, and they lead something that's like kind of weak-ish to Deoxys in the lead, is they farm up a bunch of energy, but then they try to catch their moves on Galarian Stunfisk. That's incredibly common. So if you see an Azumarill Lead, probably just consider throwing the Thunderbolt immediately. But be aware that they might try to catch. So try to prevent them catching, but do throw it into them. Because now I have a Deoxys with a lot of energy, and I was planning on trying to farm it down now, but I have so much energy, I might as well throw now, you know? So now I'm debuffed. So also another misplay, maybe I should have thrown the Psycho Boost into the Stunfisk before I switched, because now it has no use of Thunderbolting this Azu here, because, you know, I was debuffed. So yeah, but either way, it doesn't really matter. They have a Bastion on the back, I lose either way. So, you know, it's a lot of talk, but any play I made, I don't think would have changed the game, unfortunately. Azu Double Steal is just incredibly rough, but yeah, I think if I, well, maybe this is still close, actually. If I threw the Thunderbolt into the Azu immediately, I think I would have still had a chance, because then I would have gotten more farm on that Stunfisk later, maybe able to Thunderbolt the Azumarill again without being debuffed. And then I could have just farmed down his Deoxys like I'm doing. It might have still been close. Might have still been close. A Thunderbolt here. I have no shields though. I have no shields. And I need like 2 more Thunderbolts to knock out. At this point, a Psycho Boost after this Thunderbolt probably won't even knock him out. It puts him quite low, but in reality doesn't do that much. And yeah, Psycho Boost from here would knock out. And they get to the move before me anyway, so that is game over. Well played by my opponent. Actually close one though. Actually kind of close, considering there's a Bastion on the back. Not bad. Alright, Umbreon Lead is pretty bad. I just stay in here, get some good counter damage, and then switch into Walrein to hopefully take some foul plays. You know, the beautiful thing about Umbreon Lead is that 99, or I would say 90% of the time, it's not a fighter in the back, because fighter in the back with Umbreon Lead is kind of weird, because then they're just incredibly weak to Charmers, which, you know, some people they take the risk, but a lot of time people don't. And that makes your Walrein a really good safe switch into Umbreon Lead. Though I guess it could also be Deoxys, but against Deoxys, Walrein just gets off a couple of Icicle spares anyway, and you can farm it down with your own Deoxys later and get a lot of energy. So it's not the end of the world, really. That's why I do recommend switching in Walrein versus Umbreon. Usually it does work out. Anyways, Skarmory comes in into my Walrein. This is a very fine. I'm just really hoping it's not Nidoqueen in the back. That is a lineup I've seen before. Umbreon and Nidoqueen, Skarmory. I throw a Thunderbolt into this Skarm. This will definitely hurt. They get an Air Slash and a charge move at the same time, which I think is just visual, but still weird that happens. And also, they get 2 Air Slashes for the price of 2 counters here, which is also stupid. The game was doing some stupid stuff, as always. So that's unfortunate. It is a Venusaur on the back, actually, which is also a line that's pretty common-ish. I mean, Umbreon Venusaur core, been around for a very, very long time. Very good. They shear my Psycho Boost, unfortunately. And they catch my next one onto the Umbreon. Very good play by my opponent here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually farm up to another Psycho Boost here. And then dip into Walrein. Throw my Icicle Spear. This will kill the Umbreon. And now I have a Psycho Boost still stored up for the Venusaur. But, this doesn't kill. That's the problem. This actually doesn't kill the Venusaur. And they're gonna get some more farm after this. So, if they can hit 2 Frenzies on my Galv, I'm not looking too good. This is 2 Volt Switch range though. And they're gonna lose a turn or 2 here when throwing the Frenzy. If they're not to the next Frenzy into Vine Whip Switch, honestly they shouldn't. It should be fine. They even Sludge Bomb. Honestly, if you're the Venusaur, you should Frenzy there, because double Frenzy is enough. It's either Sludge Bomb and a Frenzy or double Frenzy. You might as well go double Frenzy then, because heals. And there's less energy. Anyway. Nidoqueen. This is like the first one I saw. I did 3 sets with this team. think I saw 2 Nidoqueen, which they're all in the lead as well. At least the ones I saw. And from what I've heard from others playing Great League right now, Nidoqueen is also nowhere. Like 2 in 3 sets might seem like a lot still, but considering it was basically 2 every set before this, it's a big decrease in Nidoqueen. That is for sure. That's like a 66% decrease already, just in my game. So yeah, it's definitely less common. And luckily, you still have Deoxys and Walrein to kind of deal with it. Alright, anyway, they farm me down. They have a lot of energy. Honestly, I wasn't really keeping track of energy as well. You're gonna see that come into play later in this game. They're gonna Poison Fang me and switch out to their Lapras. And right now I'm feeling pretty good. Let's go for the Psycho Boost right here. And if they shield, they shield. And if they don't shield, that's fine too. I can just double Earthquake. This is Walrein. But yeah, they do shield it. Still gotta get to two Earthquakes now. I'm just gonna shield whatever this Lapras has to throw. I was really thinking at this point that the Nidoqueen had like barely any energy. I thought the Nidoqueen was like energy dry for some reason. So you're actually gonna see me shield both of these Surfs and not even really over farm on my Earthquake. I really thought that the Nidoqueen had like no energy. Like their Lapras pretty dry now. I should at least over farm a little bit here. Like, I could overfarm a little bit more, but I go for the Earthquake right here. The Nidoqueen is gonna come back in, of course. They're gonna get to the move, and I'm thinking, wow, this is just a Poison Fang. A win. Earth Power. Really good energy management by my opponent right there. Really good energy managed by my opponent, that's for sure. But man, I really should have just countered that game. And I could have overfarmed on the Lapras by like at least 1 more Powder Snow and won that game. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but GG. Well played by my opponent. Next match, we have another Galarian Stunfisk Lead. Or not another. This is the first one of the video, I think. I don't love this. I never know how to play this, to be honest. Always just shield the first move. And I just start boosting. They're gonna go for another Earthquake here, which I will take. You know, if you're crazy, you could also consider shielding this. And you have a very high health Deoxys Defense Lead. Left, I mean, you have a very high health Deoxys Defense left. Sorry, but I didn't. I don't want that. Did that because well, Galv without shields is not great. It goes Maddie, and I make a huge mistake here. I should have switched into Galv instantly because Maddie with energy just beats Galv anyway. So even though I kind of want switch advantage, I don't want my Walrein locked into the Medicham later in the game if they can switch out here. I should switch lock my Galv immediately. Just to not allow them energy advantage. Now they're gonna catch this lunge on their Azu. So clearly they're weak against Galv. And that is why I should have just switched into my Galv immediately. It's very likely they weren't gonna switch out of their Medi anyway. Because Medi Galv is not terrible for them. Alright. Discharge this now, which I do end up shooting. I bring in Deoxys, kind of hoping they throw a move. This is pretty useless, I think. But I kept my Galv alive. I Psycho Boost their Azu. I can bring in Walrein now. I can probably Icicle Spear this to death. If I build up a bunch of energy. And they're gonna have to throw all the energy on my Walrein, actually. So they bring in the Medi right now. I'm just gonna go straight for the Icicle Spear. This doesn't knock out, unfortunately. And they have a bunch of energy on this. They could just Psychic me. Which would do like 45%, 44%. And a power-up punching. Which I think does less than a Psychic would. Though the power-up counters, of course, do hurt. They go for another one. Really does hurt. I'm gonna switch here. Get some energy. They have to throw energy into my Galv. They want to kill my Galv. But they don't, and I get to my discharge and knock them out. Even if they had a move and they thrown it, my Walrein would have just been able to take it out as well. So that was game over either way. Anyway, that was the final game. I hope you all enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Good luck with your battles.